What's up, enthusiasts? It's your boy Rob back with another video. Today we're going to talk about the 5 games I wish I would have kept. Now, through the years, I think I've been in this hobby for over 12 years now, and I've had a fair share of games, and not everything hits. But these are the games that I actually enjoyed to an extent, and now looking back, wish I would have kept them for one reason or another. So guys, let's get into the list of the top 5 games I wish I would have kept. All right guys, I want to get started with an honorable mention, and that game is Myth by Megacon Games. I got that game, I think, really early into my foray with board gaming, and I actually got that game twice. Hey guys, do me a favor, make sure you like and subscribe, and head over to all of our social media for Table Salt. And if you haven't picked up a copy of Rusty Dagger, make sure you guys check that out. So go over to Rusty Dagger on Facebook and give that game a look. See if it's something you like. All right, guys, let's get into the actual list now. So at number 5 is Talisman, 4th edition by Fantasy Flight Games. So I think I had just about everything. I had all of the Four Corners and a bunch of the small box expansions as well. So I pretty much had everything for this game except for I think it was like the newest, the Cataclysm was like the last thing they released for Talisman 4th edition. So I didn't have that, but I had everything else. And me and my gaming group, we went on like a month-long, like just deep dive into Talisman. I think we were playing it like every get together. We were getting together almost every once a week at that point. And we were playing Talisman for like a month straight every time. And I think what happened is we just got burnt out on it. And as it was my copy, it was pretty much all my stuff. So I was like, yeah, this game's done. There's no tread left on it. So I actually ended up selling that for a decent amount of money. But that's one of those games I kind of wish I kept just to have it on my shelf, just because I had just about everything for it. I thought it would just look really impressive on my shelf. But it's gone, so we move forward. So coming in at number 4 is Lord of the Rings, the CCG by Fantasy Flight Games. This game, the first time I played it was at work. I had a friend come by my job. He owned it, he had a few expansions, and dude, I just love this game. And this was my first CCG. So I was like, this is amazing. And before this, only introduction I had in the card games was Magic the Gathering. I had been playing that for a while. So my buddy comes over, we're sitting down, we're playing the game, I'm loving it, and the whole time we're playing, I'm like, I'm going to get a copy of this. So I ended up buying it and kind of just playing it solo for a while, still loved it for some time, and then my gaming group came in. It wasn't a huge hit with the gaming group. It was actually just one person that didn't like it, but for the most part, it was fun to play. I never really had many expansions for it or anything like that. I think I only had one expansion, and I had 2 sets of the core box, so we could all play. But basically got rid of that, and that was one of those things, like looking back, I wish I had kept, because I don't really play too many card games or card-based games anymore. So I think it would have been some really good diversity in my collection. Yeah, Lord of the Rings CCG was an excellent game. Now I know that they recently re-released the core set, and I've been thinking about picking it up. I just don't know if it would get played, and I've got a lot of games on my shelf that don't see the light of day, so I don't know. Coming in at number 3, and this one is like one I kick myself over all the time, but it's Gears of War, the board game by Fantasy Flight Games. Again, Fantasy Flight Games, man, that I guess at this time in the hobby, I think Fantasy Flight just controlled so much of the market that you couldn't help but to get one of their games. So this game, the reason I got rid of it was because I just felt like the boards were small. I just felt like it wasn't like this grandiose game. And I think this was around when I was wanting to get that really elaborate experience when it came to games. And it was primarily me playing it solo, which it was great for. But I got rid of that game, and I actually got that game for a really good price. I got it for about $35 from my local gaming store who never puts anything on sale. And it just happened to be on sale. I'm pretty sure because Fantasy Flight must have lost the license or something like that. But yeah, I got it for $35. Enjoyed it. Sold it for, I think I sold it for $35. And now before making this video, I kind of want to take a look back to see how much things were selling for. And man, the game was selling for over like $170 some places. Now that's scalpers trying to make their money. But I think for the most part, it's pretty valuable. And I think it's one of those IPs that should come back. So Fantasy Flight, if you can, get that IP back and make a new version of it. All right guys, coming in number 2 is Mice and Mystics. Now this game is a game that I bought like early on in the board gaming hobby. I think I got this one, this had to be within the first 5 games that I bought. And my family loved it. So it's kind of like our first game sitting down as a family, kind of playing a fantasy cooperative like dungeon crawler. And my wife loved it, and she's not really into fantasy gaming and stuff like that, or at least back then she definitely wasn't. Yeah, so with Mice and Mystics, I think we played through it, and I just felt like at that time I was like, okay, well, I finished the game, I guess I just sell it now. So I got rid of it. I can't remember what I sold it for, but kind of going back again, looking for these games, I'm like, you know what, we had such fun with that game. I know my youngest daughter would probably love that game, so I wanted to go out and get a copy of it, but I can't find one for less than $70. And I'm like, man, is it really worth that much, you know? It probably is, you know, for the nostalgia aspect, and that my family will enjoy it. So if you're selling a copy of Mice and Mystics, or you just want to give one away, hit me up, let me know in the comments below, and I'll reach out to you and maybe we can work something out. All right, guys, let's get to number 1. The number 1 game that I wish I would have kept, this one's very near and dear to me, is Runebound. This is like the quintessential game for solo playing, in my opinion. Like, I would spend like hours, like throughout the night, just sitting there playing it. I had the core set, and I had only 1 expansion, but just with that limited amount of content, I've got hours of enjoyment from that game. And I don't know what I was thinking when I sold it. I sold it actually for a really good amount of money because it was way out of print by then. But that's one of those games that I know if I still had, I don't think I'd be playing it as much now, but just to have it on my shelf, I think that I would love to have been able to keep it or have it now and at this stage in my hobby career. But I've got a lot of great games on my shelf, and now I know not to make some of these mistakes. So maybe I should make a list of the top 5 games that will never leave my collection. If that's something you guys want to see, let me know in the comments. Other than that, guys, check us out on social media. When I say us, it's primarily just me, but go check out Rusty Dagger, go check out the Table Salt Gaming Design Facebook page, and we're also on Instagram as well. Guys, if you haven't liked the video, go ahead and do that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and tell me that you did. So I'll talk to you guys later.